Presidente. From a Times Recorder article, we know that Tom and Margaret Quinn have worked tirelessly to raise awareness for an issue that is oftentimes misunderstood and swept under the rug, mental illness. Over 20 years ago, when their personal experience with mental illness led them to a place where they had more questions than answers, they responded by doing a lot of research to try to find answers. And the Quinns didn't stop there. Instead, they took what they learned and used it to help others who were facing similar challenges. They weren't deterred by the stigma people touched by mental illness often see. Rather, they reached out to offer help, others support and education. But that wasn't enough for them. No, they became so invested in helping people with mental illness that they were asked by 6 county to head up the NAMI chapter, which they did for years before passing it on to their sons, Paul and Patrick. And even that wasn't enough for Tom and Margaret, because they continued to see the need. And they responded by gathering their family, which includes 7 children and 9 grandchildren, to become the Quinn Family Singers. Through this group, they have provided entertainment and also created opportunities for fundraising. Tom and Margaret are very special people. Our Zanesville Daybreak Rotary Club is honored to recognize them today with our 2015 Vocational Recognition Award. Please join me in thanking the Quinns for their efforts to make our community a great place to live, work, and play.
Wow.
We have some gifts for both of you. Margaret.
Nothing I like better than flowers.
You got that one right then, right?
You got that one right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Would either of you like to say a couple of words?
This is where you're supposed to sing, Walt.
Sure.
Excellent.
Like father, like son.
Okay, you know, St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner. Just to kind of prepare you for it, I'll just sing you a little tune here. And you're going to help me with it, right?
Yep.
Mrs. Murphy gave a party about a week ago. Everything was plentiful, the Murphys are not slow. They treated us like gentlemen, we tried to act the same. Only for what happened, oh, it was an awful shame. Mrs. Murphy dished the chowder out and fainted on the spot. She found a pair of overalls at the bottom of the pot. Tim Nolan, he got ripping mad, his eyes were bulging out. He jumped up on the piano and loudly he did shout,
Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so he shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick, that's true. I can lick the mick that threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder.
They dragged the pants from out the soup and laid them on the floor. Each man swore upon his life he'd not seen them before. They were plastered up with mortar and were worn out at the knee. They'd had there many ups and downs as we could plainly see. When Mrs. Murphy she came to, she started to cry and pout. She'd had him in the wash that day and forgot to take him out. Tim Nolan, he excused himself for what he said that night. So we put music to the words and sang with all our might.
Oh, who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so he shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick, that's true. I can lick the mick that threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. Continuing in